This episode is sponsored by Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain it to you really quickly. To start off, it's 100% free, and there are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will then distribute your podcast for you so it could be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more platforms. In fact, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. If you're interested, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Hey, lovely people!
Welcome back to the Unraveling the World podcast.
On today's episode, we'll be talking about a very popular show that has had great success and has received both positive and negative feedback.
Yup, you guessed it. Never have I ever.
That being said, let's start off.
Okay, so to start off, I guess I'll just give a quick summary of what the show's about and a few key details about what it is. So I basically started watching Never Have I Ever right when it released, a couple of days after maybe, after I heard a couple of my friends talking about it and everyone was talking a lot about it, and that's when it was starting to get a lot of hype. So basically it revolves around this brown girl, none other than Baby, and she's basically in school, but what's different about her is that her father passed away in a car accident, and it's basically her way of coping with high school along with the stereotypes of being brown.
Yeah, and she, because of her, I think in the story they mentioned that she spent like freshman year in crutches, and the next year in sophomore year, her dad passed away, and I think she uses like popularity and everything as a coping mechanism because she often feels like, I feel like she feels like she's like this outstand. She doesn't blend in with the normal quote unquote like teenagers, so she does everything to blend in. So, which kind of makes her embarrassed of her Hindu culture and everything.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I felt like I could really relate to this show because compared to other shows that I've watched, it's definitely something I related to the most, and they did do an accurate representation of how it is to be brown and like all the societal and cultural norms. But I feel like they kind of depicted some stuff to be wrong, or they depicted it in the wrong way.
Yeah, like for example, the coyote. If you guys remember.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, I bit her. So this is like this is really important. Reincarnation.
Yeah.
Hindus strongly believe in that, and so let's take my mother. My mother's mom. So my grandma on my mom's side, she died very early. So my mother always believes that she comes back to her as a black crow and visits her like as a black crow. So whenever the black crow comes near our house, which it does pretty often.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
So we always make sure to give like some sort of food, whether it's cake or cookies.
Aww.
We always do make sure to give some sort of food, and I feel like that. Since that coyote bit her, I feel like it was a very, like, they should not have made it do that. They should have, like, I don't know, made it comfort her or something like that, because it was a very wrong interpretation of, like, it made it sound like we are absolutely saying, it made it sound like we believe in, like, such ridiculous things, but we're really not, you know?
They put, sorry.
I mean, a lot of the things that they did talk about, it was accurate, but some things they kind of like did in a wrong way, or they should have done it in a different way. Like a lot of the stuff they did was exactly like stuff that I do, like, you know how they had a puja and all that stuff, but in the beginning, like, you know how she was in crutches, and after she saw Paxton and she just all of a sudden could start walking, like some of that stuff was a little questionable.
Yeah. And I feel like the wrong, like, I feel like especially when if there's like a person who's not brown viewing this kind of a show, whether it be for entertainment or educational purposes, I feel like it gives like a wrong, it portrays like brown people wrong because of these somewhat of like stereotypes that they include in the show throughout the show, you know? And so like the coyote scene and the fact that she, I don't know, there's like many instances where they just portray Indian women more specifically wrong, which is why I don't think it should be used as an educational kind of show, which it's not, but yeah.
Yeah.
And
And like,
yeah, go ahead, Moby.
yeah, and like I really wanted to talk about how like about the side characters, and like, see, the thing is that this like show, it has such a like great diversity in the cast, which
Yeah.
is just such a good thing. Like Eleanor, Fabiola, like there's like, let's take Fabiola for example. It has a great representation of LGBTQ and someone struggling to come out.
Yeah.
And then let's take Eleanor for example. Her mother. It really shows someone with who struggles with I guess mother issues, and we can even see Davy's point of view. She struggles with she lost her dad, which I'm sure it happens, you know, at such a young age. We can really understand so many people's point of view through this show, and it's just really nice.
Yeah. And I love that we get a lot of people's stories, not just Davy's. Like, especially the fact that we're getting like firsthand, like, you know, a point of view from a brown girl. Like, that itself is amazing, but we also get a lot of different point of views. For example, Kamala, like, you know how she lived with Davy and stuff, and also the struggle with arranged marriages.
Yeah, that was really important because we talked about, like, she talked about how the I think the show really helps people to understand the difference between forced marriages and arranged marriages, because those are two very different things. Kamala consented to the marriage, and it was her choice, you know. She felt it was the right thing to do.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of people thought that, like, had different opinions about this show, and I liked it, but I feel like some of it was a little questionable. But it was definitely something I could relate to a lot. But I don't know, some stuff were stereotyped differently, like that she's really smart, and yeah, like, I mean, I think it's good for people to think that, like, it's not a bad thing, but stereotyping an entire, you know?
I think it can be harmful because well, it puts a lot of more pressure on Indian children.
Even though I feel like, yeah, stereotyping like certain people can be harmful, but I feel like the show kind of balances some things out, because, you know, like Davy being like really harsh to her mother, like saying some harshful things to her mother, but I feel like there's a lot of reasons why she does that in the first place. I feel like what triggered it was her father's death, but like also the fact that like some Indian parents, they'll pressure their kids into some stuff that they don't want to necessarily be in, like clubs, or whether it be like school related and everything. And we know that Devi is like really smart and everything, but I feel like it's like the reason she is where she is because of her mother, and I don't know if she necessarily wants to be there sometimes, you know.
Yeah. And aside from just getting like a perspective of Devi, and you know, I mean, like, my parents always tell me, like, yeah, treat others with respect and stuff, but I feel like we also got a big sense of Indian parenthood, because you know how she would talk back to her mom and stuff in the show, and it's not like, I understand how, well, actually I don't understand, like, it's really hard for her that she lost her father at such a young age, and the fact that she's just dealing with all of this, and then she tells her mom, I wish you were the one in the car that night. That's just so harmful. Like, it hurts her mom, but Devi like needs to understand, or she did understand, that her mom was also going through a lot of pain because her husband also passed away.
Exactly.
Also, because of the fact that she's a teenager, I feel like she doesn't grasp the idea of like the fact that others have like feelings almost, because even though she was obviously impacted by her father's death, like, she needs to not to like blame her or anything, because it's like going through a death is so hard, but like as a teenager, like an aspect she's missing, like, is the fact that like her mom, she like lost her husband, you know, and so that's like a huge.
And she's still trying to raise Davy, and
yeah, she's a
single
mother now. She's a single mother now, trying to raise a daughter who is literally growing, and it's so hard. And she feel like, obviously it's going to be hard for her to understand now, but I feel like whenever the second season or following seasons come out, I'd be really I look forward to seeing her that part of her progress and into like her appreciation for her mother, like, hopefully. you know? And not only that, but like appreciation for her culture itself, because many instances in the show she's like embarrassed of her culture, which is really sad to see, you know?
Yeah, we can especially see she's insecure about her culture during Ganesh Puja. Like a friend tells her that being Indian is cool, and hating the culture reveals like the person's insecure, and like it showed. And like, or let's take her and Paxton for example. She was really embarrassed to tell him she was at Ganesh Puja, you know?
Yeah, which is so sad to see. But like, because she thought that in order for her to blend in, she had to let go of such an important like part of her. And because she kind of felt like she got the idea that the other people in her school wouldn't like the fact that she's celebrating these different things.
And in reality, this was actually not the case. I haven't seen anyone bullying her because she's Indian. It's more internalized.
Yeah, it's internalized. And so because she's also like smart, I feel like she kind of uses that to her advantage sometimes, which is nice to see, I guess. Because she has a rival, like Ben, I think his name is. And so yeah, it's like I like that he's a character who like kind of gets that kind of side of her, that she's like proud to be smart, which is like obviously you're going to be proud to be smart, but like you don't really like to fit into that stereotype necessarily. So
yeah, I mean, last podcast episode we talked about like Indian stereotypes, and that actually also connects with this kind of show, because
yeah, definitely.
do you guys remember in the trailer, and it was in the show, but it was also like in the trailer, I believe, he was like, are you trying to grow a mustache? But a lot of, it's not just Devi, or it's not just how they say it in the thing, but a lot of brown girls do like face those sort of comments, like, oh, how's your mustache doing? Oh yeah, like, are you trying to grow a mustache? Those sort of comments.
Yeah, it's like it's an ongoing thing. We also talked about it like last podcast, I believe, but like it's so normalized, like racism against it's not normalized, that's a word, that's a wrong word to say. It's like people have made it, people are just racist in general, and they'll make these comments against Indian people, like whether it be mustache or like even these small things matter, and it affects people more than they might think, you know? And it's like so many brown girls face it, and you don't see the problem until we speak on it. So that's why we're speaking on it right now. And so
yeah. I mean, overall, I really did like this show. It was really good. Although there were like some kind of scenes where, I don't know, I thought that they weren't like they were
very,
like,
very, very cringy. Extremely
questionable.
Horrifyingly cringy.
Yeah.
Like to the point where I had to turn my phone like off.
Same. Oh my god. No, you know what I did? I was like watching like Coyote Scene or whatever I was watching. I had to literally pause it, take a breather, and be like, okay, so this is what I'm watching.
You know what?
And then I had to drink, and then I started watching it again.
No,
and
that was when she went up to Paxton. That scene just did it for me. I was just done. I just couldn't watch it for the next
I feel like
minutes.
some things that just, it's like, why is it there? But I feel like, I guess it's entertainment, you know?
Yeah, it did make it funny. I do think that some of the
it's like so cringy,
do make it better.
Yeah. No, you know what? When I was like, what the heck? When I first watched, it was literally the first scene, like the first 10 seconds. She gets up when she sees Paxton.
Oh yeah,
I literally was like,
I was so confused.
I was like so embarrassed.
But you know, it works. It like caught our attention, so it kind of worked. But yeah, I don't. It's like for entertainment, it's good, you know. And I like so many types of people.
Yeah,
like her best friend.
It was a good show, nonetheless, though.
It wasn't terrible. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's terrible, but I wouldn't say it's like the best show ever, you know?
Yeah.
Because her friends, like her Fabiola, and there's so many like there's so much representation, and it also shows like Fabiola are like coming out, you know, as gay, and so I think that's an important part to look at, and it's nice to see on media.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're really glad that you guys tuned into this episode, and we really wanted to say thank you for over 100 listens over 2 episodes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so
much. To end off, I think we'd like to end with like a never have I ever question. So who wants to ask?
Not me.
I can ask. So have you guys ever slept during virtual school?
Yes. You'd be
What
lying
type
if you
of
said
question is
I-
even that?
Yeah, I
That's
literally.
such a stupid question. Who the heck has not slept during virtual school?
Yeah, one time I literally slept through a whole period, and it was like first period, so it was like
You're
longest
upset about a
period.
whole period? I slept through 3 periods.
Okay. I have an alarm, so I slept through the whole period, and then I came back and I was like, I texted my my teacher being like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I had like computer issues, and so I had to like lie, which I felt really bad, but like she didn't mark me absent because I told her that I'd been working. My Zoom was just not working, which I guess is not amazing, but
Nah, I told the truth to all my teachers because I'm just such a good student, and
Yeah,
I
sure.
like to
Totally.
lie.
Nah, but I
like
think
to
everyone
lie like
sleeps,
someone.
including myself. And but that's for a different episode. Now we're just getting off track.
different
guys.
episode. We'll just talk about sleeping.
Yes, we should. Okay. Well,
Thank you
that's
guys.
all for today then. Tune
Thank you guys
again
so
next
much
week.
for tuning in.
Tune in
Yep.
for the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.